Shalom lekulam and erev tov, good evening. Today we are at the 229 days from the war started from the 7th of October. Before I talk about special in uniform, I want to brief you about what is going on in Israel these days. So in the south, there is, let's say, some kind of a sub-conflict war within the Rafah area, or the Philadelphia corridor, which is most of 70% out of the corridor, which is 11 kilometers, is being held by Israel, by the IDF. And why it is so important? Because there are more than, some say 50, some say 100 tunnels that go outside to Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. And as for us, this corridor is so important because one thing is the route of oxygen or air for the Hamas, and we are totally terrified from the idea that our hostages are being fleeted or brought to Egypt and then God knows where through those tunnels, since the Hamas has a strong hold also in the Sinai Peninsula area. And if God forbid, even some ships that will go to Iran with high-rank officers that were captured during the 7th of October. So all of those who think that the low intense conflict or war in Israel, in Gaza, the Gaza Strip, it is not. Know that the war is still on. There are 3 brigades that are working there, the 148, 143, 99, and 162. Which is approximately 7,000 to 10,000 soldiers that are fighting the Hamas there, the terrorists there. And as for the north, it is much, much complicated because we as an Israeli citizens feel that we cannot live with the idea that we have some kind of a stronghold of the Hezbollah along the border of the Lebanon. And there are more than 40,000 evacuees from the Golan, from the Lebanese border, from those cities, that villages, moshavim, kibbutzim that are along the border. So having said that, the Gaza issue is taking more of the focus from the overall conflict. And so we are not seeing what is happening in the Lebanese area, which are those Hezbollah areas or Hezbollah cities. There is a huge devastation there out of Israeli attack, terrorists. And the Israeli army is targeting high-ranked officers there because their chain of command is the one who decides what is going on. As for the third circle, which is the Iraqian Houthis in Yemen, there have been some kind of restraint now, and we have help from some kind of a coalition, and also it's another thing that is not being spoken on the news, but it is what it is. And the 14th of April, we saw this coalition assembling together and protecting the state of Israel. And I will send all of those who want to send me in the link to my email. I will send you the missiles that were launched from Iran, which are enormous. It's a 14 meters. It's like a building of 4 floors or fifth floors, filled with 500, half a ton of explosive. And at the 14th of April, they launched more than 300 of those, side with drones, and explosive drones. And I don't know what happened, which miracle it was, the Air Force miracle, God's miracle, but nevertheless, there was no harm in Israel, no casualties in Israel, and we cannot be more thankful for all of those who helped protecting the state of Israel. So having said that, this is the third circle that we are living with. And also, while we are speaking in the Judea and Samaria area, there is a war. There is a completely war in Jenin now, in Nablus, also in Hebron, which also this is not being in the media because Gaza is taking all the focus. And as for us, there are more or less 6,000 terrorists that were captured from the 7th of October. Most of them are from Gaza. And the numbers that you hear that the casualties from Gaza, from the UN, do not believe any word of those, because those are contradicting themselves day and night. They are talking about now instead of 35 or 40,000 casualties, now they are talking about 24. So they cannot be counted. Those numbers are just putting them in the air, because those who wants to hear that Israel is the evil part of it wants to hear those some kind of a bad news about the state of Israel. And we are obliged and committed to defend the state of Israel in all stages: the legal stage, the media stage, the social media stage, and with all those all of us, the Jews, because this is an existential issue for all of us. See what is happening. I came from Chicago. 150,000 people were rallying against the state of Israel, and I can tell you 95% of them, if you will point in the map where is Israel, they won't even start to know where it is. Some of them are paid, some of them are just want to get to fight with someone, some of them are just hating Israel, and 150 to get outside. Someone organized it very, very thoroughly. And as I said, we as a Jew cannot slander the state of Israel anymore. We as a Jew, even though sometimes Israel is not the perfect country, we have our faults. And when we are sitting at our salon and someone is smashing and bashing the state of Israel, we cannot join them. We cannot, because tomorrow morning they will use all those words that we are saying against the state of Israel or the government, and using those words against us. See what is happening in all the media. They are taking Israeli media riots that now are rioting against the government, and this encourage the Hamas and all of those who hate us to hate us some more, and they don't need a reason to hate us. And I want to end with Special in Uniform, in which this is my passion and love for the last 10 years. And Special in Uniform, for those whom a brief about Special in Uniform. Special in Uniform is a program that enable young adults with disability to become part of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. It is the only army in the world that has that kind of program. And you know, in Israel, at the age of 16, you are getting a letter from the government that says, prepare yourself, 2 years from now, you are going to be part of the Israeli army. And young adults with special needs getting the same letter with a negative perspective that says, we have no place for you. So Israel is, the Special in Uniform is changing that paradigm and making sure that everyone belongs. We must make all and everything in our power to make them part of us, side by side with typical soldiers, side by side with everyone that is part of those who are an essential within the army. So having said that, just now recently, we celebrated 1,000 soldiers in the program a month ago, and you cannot even start to believe or start to imagine the joy that you saw in those faces of the parents when they got the certificate, when they got the beret, when they got every ceremony that we are doing for them. And the last and not least, we have some kids with the autistic that are brilliant kids, very, very smart. And I don't know if you know, several years ago, in 2018, a guy from Ashkelon, a Savan guy, autistic, hacked the Pentagon, and he put on the wallpaper of the Pentagon the picture of his dog and his mother. So later on, he was applying for the army, and they said, you have a criminal criminal case or criminal file in the police, and you cannot be inducted. So we took this guy and make this from this lemon we made a huge lemon, the sweetest lemonade ever, and now he is serving at the intelligence in Israel. And probably you know that just recently the helicopter of the Raisi, the president of Iran, and I know that this is not a computerized helicopter, but God knows, maybe there was a computer that guy controlled, but according to foreign reports, maybe it's him. So having said that, they are part of the integral and essential jobs that are being executed within the army. And later on, we are trying to find jobs for them within the army again, with the Israeli labor market, to make them mainstream in the Israeli society. And I want to end with something which is very inconvenient for me, but I'm begging for your understanding or asking for your understanding. Since the 7th of October, donation from donors of mine and new donors went to the resilience. And I know that it's no less important than the only thing that is important now is to make sure that those kibbutzim and all those areas that were damaged and demolished during the 7th of October will get all the support. But unfortunately, especially uniform is being affected by those lack of donations. And all of those who wants to still support special in uniform, I will be more than happy that you will consider side with the resilience supporting special in uniform. If there are any questions, I will be more than happy to answer. If not, I'm wishing you a great, amazing evening, and always, Am Yisrael Chai. And I want to end with one thing. Yesterday, we had an ending ceremony for 400 volunteers that came to the state of Israel to work, to sympathize with everything that we are doing. And as an Israeli citizen, I saw the spirit of love, and I cannot thank enough the JNF and all of those who organized those groups. Continue doing them. For us, it's another way of lifting our spirit to the air. Thank you so much. Toda rabah. Thank you, Saul. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, everybody. And hope to see you very soon in Israel. Very, very soon.
Saul, we seem to have lost your audio.
Okay, now we should be better. So first, Tiran, I just wanted to say, if those that are not familiar with Special in Uniform, just Google Special in Uniform, go to YouTube, look at what they do. And if you ever get a chance to go to a graduation ceremony at Special in Uniform, it's one of the most remarkable things that at least Lauren and I have participated that you'll ever see. Just bring a lot of Kleenex with you, because there's a lot of tears that go on. But it's a remarkable opportunity. And there's no question that Tiran and Special in Uniform is leading inclusion throughout the entire world. People are trying to copy what Tiran has done with Special in Uniform. And then the last thing that I'll say is that if I'm inviting everybody here to Tiran mother-in-law Shabbat dinner. His mother-in-law's Shabbat dinner is not to be missed. So Tiran, just tell your mother-in-law, there's only about 1,000 people that watch this between live and live stream. So just tell your mother-in-law to get ready, that we're all coming back for a Shabbat dinner at our house.
You are always welcome. You know that. Our door is always open. Our home and heart is always open. Thank you.